Hey, what's up? It's Jackie, the vegan marketer, and today I wanted to make a rather simple but profound video on the concepts of the difference between social science and hard science. And I know what you're thinking, Jackie, how does this relate to me at all? And very simply, it's because of the fact that most likely whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it's revolved around making changes in people's lives, learning marketing, or whatever else, all of that research, all of that science probably falls under social science. And there's something very profound and important about the distinction between these two. And what I mean by that, right, is that social science versus hard science would usually be what people normally consider as science, right? So math and chemistry and biology, stuff like that, right? Where social science, you can probably think of more as politics, political science, sociology, psychology, all that stuff, right? And marketing falls under that social science aspect, and philosophy, right? And the big difference that I want to share with you is that social science, through this experience, you actually change once you learn this stuff. All right, so let me say that again. So you basically change once you learn this stuff. There's this level of self-awareness, this level of interaction between the learner and what is learned. Are you getting this? Right, so what I mean by this, let me illustrate this with a example that I heard that made a lot of sense. So when you tell a cup of water that it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and you tell it to its face, hey water, you are made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and when you get to 0 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius, you freeze. When you get to 32 degrees, whatever else, right? That water, nothing changes about the water. You getting that? Nothing changes about the water when you tell the water stuff about itself, right? And this is very different and contrasts very much from the human experience. When you tell humans and when you tell people that, hey, because you're human and, because XYZ, you actually change the way you experience or your relation to the experience that you have. And what this difference is the difference between an aware experience and an unaware experience. And this is huge. Think about this, right? So if you eat all the time, you're eating all this time, if you're vegan, you probably understand this concept of knowing, right? Once you know about the vegan stuff, once you know about the reasons why, the detriments, whatever else, that actually changes your experience. That awareness of that information actually allows us to do something different. And this is exactly why books and knowledge and whatever else works, and courses, right? Because as the more you learn, the more you're actually able to interact with that and implement that consciously to change your life. Because imagine if you were to read books, watch videos, learn all this other stuff, but you weren't able to change anything. What would be the point? There is no point, right? So on a subconscious level, you're actually already doing this, and you actually already understand this if you feel that whenever you read something or watch something, you're actually able to get something out of it and change your life. And why this is so important and why I want to share this with you is because of the fact that, you are not just water. We are able to consciously act on the information that we're given. And so can whoever you're trying to impact can as well. This is like one of the foundational things, or one of the assumptions we make, right? But I want to articulate this assumption into something that you know consciously, so that you can understand that because we are human, because a lot of what we're trying to explain and share is in the realm of social science, what we share with other people actually allows us to, the knowledge we share has this power of being able to interact with the person who is learning it, okay? So if you're getting this, I hope you do. It's gonna be extremely profound, but if you don't, that is fine, because of the fact that you're probably already doing this anyways, and you understand this concept to the core anyways, right? But again, understanding this is huge, because you're going to be able to change not only your life, but whenever you learn something and you interact with something, you can do so with the understanding that you're going to consciously interact with it, and that is going to change your lived experience. That's going to change your conscious experience with whatever thing it is that you're doing. And in addition, why that's important, right, is because then it makes a lot of sense that whatever you engage with is going to shape how you live, right? It's gonna shape how you go about your life. So if you are not being very deliberate about the type of knowledge that you're engaging with, then the type of person you are becoming, the type of aware experience that you're living and going through is gonna be half deliberate, half not deliberate. So what I am asking of you to do, or what I am suggesting and inviting you to do, is then to try to make everything that you engage with, all the knowledge that you engage with, as deliberate as possible, so that you can actually kind of craft yourself into the type of being, the type of experience that you want to have. Does that make sense? If that does, then that's going to be huge for you, because of the fact that you can get this video, and then you can realize and you look at all the different things that you're interacting with, you know, all the stuff on Instagram, all the stuff on YouTube, all the stuff on, you know, the people you talk to and the things that you hear and the stuff that you absorb. And then you can make the decision, is what I'm engaging with, is this actually serving me for what I'm trying to do? Is what I'm engaging with actually aligned with what I'm trying to accomplish and who I'm trying to become, okay? Because you are not a cup of water, the stuff that you learn, the stuff that you engage with actually matters. And it matters a lot for how you live your life and the experience that you do, because the unaware experience and the aware experience are extremely different. And you know, this is quite evident in veganism, right? If you understand that, and you can apply what you apply to veganism and how that shaped your life to everything else, that's going to really have some big impacts for your lived experience, okay? So I know this video was a little more up here, right? But if you apply this correctly, it's gonna have very material consequences, okay? So with that, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.